Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Transport Fever 2, attempt number 8, I think it is. I've had several problems with recording last time, so I have to reload the game and do it over again. I don't know what it was. Looks like things are working right now, so what are we going to do today? Well, to start with, this is our guy doing the epic journey. So I will rename this one, using the right capitals, of course, into that. And I'll put it on top. So that's one. Next, I will set up a passenger route from this city over that station, over that station to here and back. I know that I will run into problems here because I set up the split pass-through, and I will run into problems here because of the settings with the express line, and the lack of space. So some things won't work. I probably have to switch platforms, etc., etc. That's one thing. We got 2.6 million. I will need them. Another thing I'm going to do is something. No, I have done that. Did I set up passenger transport everywhere last time? Looks like it. Yep, looks like it. So first thing I'm going to do is, it's not needed here. I will have to do that over here. No, that's working. Is Now I thought I had to expand a passenger station somewhere, but apparently I don't have to. What I do have to do is something I know is required in the future, expanding this cargo station. So I will do that first. We have several cargo platforms, and unfortunately I can't open up the platforms, the numbers, but right now we have multiple platforms. I need something to actually make it easier to show. We have up here 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 2, 4, 5 platforms, and over here we got 1, 2, 4, 5 platforms. So it says, if I look here, we have 10 cargo platforms. As soon as I'm going to build these, platform 1 is actually shown, and I will zoom out a bit so we can keep an eye at both sides. But every platform will drop numbers now. Platform 2 will be moving to where 3 is, and everything drop, and we end up with 9 platforms. Ta-da! And because I will probably need another thing to be transported here, I may as well remove platform 8 and done. So that part is finished. We have 1 passenger platform, and I don't need more right now, and 2 cargo platforms, 1 cargo platform will do the plastic and return for either goods or machinery. The other one will at some point probably start doing food here. Now the nice part is plastic, machinery and food are all transported in the same boxcars. I have enough platforms here. I have enough platforms here. So next station, enough passenger platforms, and that's what I was planning to do. So I have to go back, switch to terminal so we can see the number of platforms we have. One of the things I can do in this game is giving my trains the option to arrive at multiple platforms. And to do that, I do have to have them. So right now we got 5 passenger platforms. I will reduce that to 3 now. Done. The reason I'm doing this is that when a train arrives and one of the other platforms is already filled up, it could actually move to an alternative, which is platform 2 or 3. I will add some of the underpass buildings. Oh, well, those things are for free, so let's turn those people into full-time loafers and make sure they actually are having some roof over their heads in case it's bad weather. We don't have weather effects in this game, but it's still thing to think about it roleplay wise. So that's that. I will have to work at the switches later because I know from setting up the route that the switches won't work the way they should. I don't have to do the same thing over here because this is already set as a free platform station, but switches and stuff will probably be changed here as well, and I may have to add waypoints. After that we end up here, free platform, so nothing to do, and eventually up here as well, and we got a single platform, so I will do the same thing, build more tracks and platforms. As well as the underpass. I mean, we have enough nutcases in the world already which are crossing railroad tracks while they're still active. I don't want my people to get killed simply because they jumped in front of a train, because there's no way for them to move from one side of the station to the other. Unfortunately, there aren't overpasses in this game, and There are mods doing that, but they aren't in the game. So now we got 3 terminals, 3 platforms, and a passenger building. So I'm actually able to transport over 1500, 1700 people here, and a little bit of cash. So that's that. Time to start setting up my station. At some point I will have to start again because I will run out of cash. And I think I was also working at upgrading. Well, maybe if I actually picked the right stuff. I think I was busy with upgrading everything. And if I'm not mistaken, this one was done. So I'm working at my trams. That's going to cost me quite some money, so I will do that after the line is done. Especially because there's something funny happening on this part of the track or the road. And we will notice that the moment we get here. Right now, it's doing 20 kilometers an hour. And right now, she is also doing 20 kilometers an hour. But the new trams are faster, which means she's going to hold things up. And there's a way to bypass that. I'll show you later. First, let's work at the passenger train. New line. I will rename it immediately. Passenger Railroad 1. I will use the same system I was using for the oil for this one. Add station 1. Two. So far, so good. Now, I said I can give the game the option. Let's drop this to the right spot immediately to use spare platforms. You can see it by different colors. That the moment I want to do that, we have an alternative. The reason is platform 1 is the main platform and it will remain the main platform. But let's say there's a train coming in from this part, stops at platform 1 while the train which is coming from the right also wants to stop at platform 1. At that point it's like, hey, there's no space over here. So I switch to one of the tracks which is actually available, which is platform 2 or 3. Probably 2 first and 3 after. That's one. The second station, I could do it, but what I want to do is go into 2 directions. And currently we're traveling like this, so there's no need for it. This works as intended. So there's nothing I have to do about this. There's no need to tell this train from, hey, listen up, if platform 2 is filled, you can take platform 1 or 3, because in this direction it will always stop at platform 2. So let's move on to the next station. and I will have to move back and forth a lot. And so far it works very well actually. As you can see, we got nice right hand transport, but problems are starting here. First of all, I don't want them to travel over this track, I want them to travel over that track. So, here we go. Waypoint. Like that. And there is one thing I have to do here. I don't need that platform for now. Also, it shouldn't do this. It should be doing this. And here we go. And then do that platform. So it won't get there. Everything's fine over here. This one is still needed. This one works. This works fine. Waypoint doesn't work out, which is odd because without waypoints everything was working well. And the reason is that it most likely, now wait a second, it was able to move there. So I have probably set signal wrong. That's for doing the reference. This signal is okay. This signal is okay. Ah, yeah, I know what's happening. The problem isn't here. The problem is up here. I'm unable to move from this track. This works fine to the right platform. If, for instance, I choose, no, that's not working. But I am able to move here, switch. I'm unable to get to that platform. It's that simple. So I keep this one here because I need to figure out what to do. But what I do need to do is remove several of my options, starting with that one. And now it actually says I have no connection at all, which is something I knew. There it is. So first, restore the connection. Second, we have to build very small crossing here, and from this track pretty soon Should be working now, but it doesn't. That's weird. Let's remove the waypoint. Still not working. So there's another problem. Traffic, and I found the problem. This is a one-way signal, and after the one-way signal, we got the crossing. Now it's working. And now I am able to add waypoint again, or maybe not. There's no need for the waypoint anymore, which is actually nice. Station, platform 2. And unfortunately, there is no way I can do anything about this long stretch of traffic. Worse, there's barely anything I can do to actually make sure that the trains won't collide. Signal is not possible here because of the switch I made. And when I build one here, it's too late because it has to keep this track free. So the only thing I can do is order any train leaving here, and leaving will be platform 1. We'll switch to the right track here. So over here, platform 1, stop. But the train arrived. So next station is here, passenger. And just like the first one, I will give this one the order to use the other platforms as well, except this time platform 1 is the main, and 2 and 3 are the alternatives. Timer set. So as you can see, 1 arriving, and everything works as intended here, except for one thing, and that one thing is it's using the cargo tracks. And I don't want that. So instead, it has to move from platform, this train track, go to the right, and that won't happen up to here. So I have to add another crossing to make sure it actually is doing what it should. Or I have to force it earlier. The thing is, the return track has to come in. show you what it must do. Of course, that. So this part is working the way it should. But that part isn't. Platform. If I add it here, I may be lucky by being able to build one there, destroy this part as well as that part, and connect everything so that works. Now it has to move here. Start and hunt them. So I have to do this, connect, and once again we get an error. This works, this works, this works, and that won't work. Which means I think I got too many switches over here. Looking at everything, I won't need those, and those. And it works. At least this part works, because it still needs to go back. For that, it's traveling along here. Should get here, it should get here, so that's once again having to cross that part. And that works too. Now let's see, train stops here. That means everything over here is actually set free. That one stops here. In general, this should work. I'm not certain about these signals, but in general it should work. Train is getting nicely to the passenger station, and I'm still not happy about this long stretch, but there's one problem. There's no way to get from this track to the next. And I want it to arrive at platform 1. I was afraid of this. So how to solve this? This is okay. What I'm going to do is setting up a new system of switches. Giving me the opportunity to move from all tracks. Now I have to redo things again, starting with leaving this station, traveling right hand side. So that's this track. And I read somebody wrote that you can use signals as waypoints as well. I still need to make that connection. But if that's indeed possible, yes, that's possible. So that works. We're able to get to the next platform. I'm unable to get to the platform I want it to. I need this diamond because eventually I'll be traveling over here. because of that I need to switch twice. Let's see, once and I'm at the right platform. No, twice and I'm at the right platform. This is actually the track out, so I want to move as fast so I can remove this one. If I'm not mistaken, I can actually build another switch from there. And let's see what the root is doing now. Coming in, we have to arrive at platform 2, and that's working. After that, we have to go to this track. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm able to do that here, here, and that signal. And look at that, the other track immediately moved to the right one as well. So the only thing I need to keep an eye at, if train stops here and the train stops there, so this is actually set free. Trains coming back are stopping at platform number 1. That works too. So this is done. The trains here are moving back to the express tracks. So that's going as intended as well. And over here they should stop at platform number 1. That's working too. But as said, there's a small problem. All the switches I have over here are ordering a train to stop. And the problem is I don't have any train leaving here, so I don't need that switch. But as soon as a train is leaving and there's another train coming and the train will stop here, the next train will move on to that switch, and then we got a conflict because none of them could actually continue. So what do I have to do? First of all, let's remove some switches. And I will make sure that any train leaving station always is moving before the one entering the station. That means I have to build a one-way signal before switch. Any train coming in and noticing there is a train at this long stretch will stop here. Soon as it crossed, any train leaving the station won't be able to do so. So that means no one-way setting. I will have a signal there. That way, a train leaving the station while another one is trying to enter it, it will actually stop. That problem is solved, which leads to the last part of our journey. This one, and I have in general the same thing. That one stops. This one needs to be removed. So this area is free, and I need another signal over here to make sure that the train leaving the station past this signal will always move on. Or past that signal. And this part works very nicely. So we did 41 minutes to set up a new route for passenger traffic, a new route, and the only thing we need to do now is wait for it to become available. And we have trains. No, that's the tram depot. We have trains and for passenger I will take this one with move to media green now, so 5 passenger cars, but that's 1.8 million and I don't have that yet. So instead I'll move over to the tram. I thought I was able to buy new ones. So we're going to upgrade, because I said I would do that, these trams for a new kind. That's 1.7 million. Yes, of course. $1.7 million for this one. $1.3 million for that one. And I think 800,000, but it looks like I'm able to get the 1.7 million anyway. And I want to do this one first because one of the things I actually need and would like to show you folks is what will happen on that road. While I'm waiting for money, I might as well get some coffee, because all this talking makes me thirsty. And since you don't see my ugly mug over here anyway, I can easily walk away and come back. We do know that as soon as one of our oil trains arrives, we have the money, so it's just a matter of time. Take some time. Where are my trains actually? This one. These two. Here's number 3. Number 3 will arrive shortly. So there's no need to worry about that. Meanwhile, let's see where this guy is. Still going on his journey. Once he's inside town, he will take a left turn here, a little bit straight ahead. I think he did a right turn here, a left turn, a right turn. Because yeah, this is in general the shortest route. Personally, I'd be taking this one because the speed restrictions some of the roads have. But I'm not AI, so. And there it is. So let's pause, head back. I don't need him anymore because it is about this tram line. Replace 1.7 million. There we go. And now I need to see, I got 900. If I'm not mistaken, I was able to replace. Yep. So that's it. Now watch what happens with the trams. That one. First of all, let's have a look at the tram itself. As you can see, it says actually on the tram what line it is. If I hover over it, it shows a number over here, but on the side up here, you see this name. As you can see, we're doing currently around 20 kilometers an hour, which makes sense because those horses probably are getting frightened of this big noisy thing behind them. But for, and I will move this one to the side so I can select another one. This one isn't held up. Look at the speed difference. 5 kilometers. So basically I'm doing as much in speed, the same speed as I was doing with the horse-drawn trams, but I'm transporting almost 100% extra. Still, my costs are going up, so I'm losing money. Now, watch what happens. As soon as we get to the wide stretch of the road, my train is able to go into full speed mode and pass the lady over here. So what I'm going to do is build several stretches of the wide road, and it gives an 80 kilometer per hour speed increase. The 60 is not having an effect because yeah, the tracks go wider, but as you see, those cars are still on the track, so it's no use. This, however, works. and I can already switch to electric tracks. I will do that later. There's no need for that yet. So I will just create several areas where I'm able to bypass the normal traffic. I need another one. Yeah, up here. No. Something like that. Now let's see. 7. I want to follow. 9. 6. 8. 5. 20. 4. 3. It's a little bit messed up actually. Number 1. Let's follow that guy. As a matter of fact, let's just follow them when riding through. There's gasoline transportation. This one is already having 11 passengers, so at least it's full. No sugar. But that train is crewed with 3 horse carts in front of it. Until the moment diesel and gasoline engines are added to the game, which will be close to 1900. We will remain having this problem. As you see, it works. That one is overtaking the wagon. So far, I'm lucky. There's another thing I need to do. Something I reminded all of a sudden. I have forgotten to set 2 timers. Which means, unless it's immediately filled up, the tram would wait for 3 minutes, and with that, the one coming up behind them would actually catch up on them. Overtaking a few, so it works. I'm able to keep my average speed a lot higher, not a constant, maybe 6, but at least, this is a very long stretch, but at least a lot higher, so that making things a lot easier. Hey, let's show you what happens and what's the joy about overtaking other road traffic. And guess what? There's not a single Porsche car in front. Typical. The other side have plenty. Typical. It's likely less people will start using their own transport to get the shopping done between the two cities. Now you got the trams able to do faster travel and more people at once. Which means at some point stations will be crowded again. And once more they will start moving from the public transport into their own. So far things are looking okay. That tram is probably able to overtake 2 cars. Another thing I know which is going to happen, not that players is going to happen is that we will get another train specifically set up for cargo transport. And that train is actually driving 5 kilometers per hour slower as the one we have currently being used. However, it's also able to pull 3 wagons more. And I did some calculations. I got currently 40 cargo, 40 oil. With this new train, I'm able to transport 55. That's over 20%. And although the speed reduction is actually about 11 point something, let's say 12%, I'm doing so many more items. And this is actually what I meant about the problem with, oh wait, wrong button. The problem with what happens as soon as you are being held up by common road transport like we have here. We have multiple trams behind each other. Stopping. This one will stop here as well. This one will actually slow up things too. But I will change that. At least in a bit. No, that's fine. I was saying, that's what I meant. I was saying that doing able to pull over 30% while losing about 12% speed. So if I combine that, I'm actually able to get a 25%-ish more transportation and thus income. So as soon as that new train arrives, which will be a bit, I will start swapping locomotives and adding wagons, which also means that the halfway the journeys, they will finish their trip with amount they actually started with. But as soon as they start loading up, especially oil, fuel will be a little bit more complicated, but oil it works. As soon as they're loading up, first trip with full oil is going to be 55 barrels of oil. And with that I will also increase the efficiency of the line turning oil and fuel back to the station, because with 55 oil being dropped off, I will have, speaking of oil, a tray. Hey, no bell? Ah, there it is. With 55 oil being dropped off, it will require 10, 11 trips to get it turned into fuel and 11 trips back. So that's going to work out better. Eventually, yes, everything works out more efficiently, making more money, which gives me the opportunity to actually buy that passenger train, because I will need a lot more as one passenger train and several. Usually I have one passenger train for each station, starting with 1 or 2 stations, and each station added after that I will have a new passenger train. So start out with 1 train for each stations. I will actually have 3 trains, 4 stations for etc, etc. 1, 2, and then after when we have 6 stops, so I may need 6 passenger trains on that line. It is quite a lot, considering that costing close to 2 million, maybe even more. So yes, with that in mind, the next thing I have to deal with is there's still that loan to be paid off. And with that being done, that's another 4 million. I also want to keep at least $1 million available in case I am building something and need to have more cash on hand. Maintenance increase, for instance, or if I see that my line is working efficient but I need another truck or another bus or another tram, that I don't have to wait until a vehicle arrives at the station and actually starts paying, but that I have money available. Over time I will actually increase that amount from 1 million to maybe every 10 years I'll add 1 million, because yeah, at some point you get lots of upgrades to deal with. So all for the next gaming sessions, you'll be spending, there's another oil train, you'll be spending about 20 million to get everything done. And I'm not done, because I know some other aspects will happen too. So as you can see, this is what I meant. I just saw it. 2 trams close to each other being rolled up. And we've got another lane in front of us, while at least we're lucky without having any behind us. It's looking rather built though. But this way, at least I'm able to bypass it. And for some stupid reason, every once in a while, cars are actually driving on the tram track. So one thing I will need is over time at some point dedicated lanes for the tram only, public transport only. And at that point I'm actually able to get electrical speed. So I will follow this tram until the point where we are at the other tram station. We've seen what happens with the overtaking. After that, I'll be signing off from this recording. But for me that means pausing the game, and while the game is paused I will use the available funds to upgrade the other trams and see if that new train is available. If it is, I will show what I mean about the changes, replacing when it's possible. When it isn't, I will look for another train route I may be able to set up, because in all the deleted sessions I had an industry popping up near Vienna, which actually is going to need a new route and which may give us some nice transportation opportunities. But it's a little bit disappointing that I set up those nice stretches to actually pass slow traffic, and in both directions we don't run into slow traffic. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Fortunately, we also see that the AI is pain in the butt by still going to outer lane instead of the inner lanes. That will solve itself over time. Because as always, other transports blocking me. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about this. Even he will go to a better lane and I'm overtaking. I hope. Yeah, we can. Now he's heading out straight, so probably we don't have to stop. Okay. Yeah. No. There's a tram and no passengers. This is the one I was talking about. We have a machine factory here. We also have 3.6 million, so that's good. So what I will do, set up a truck platform here and connect it to this platform. That's number one. I will set up transportation routes between the iron mine, the coal mine and the steel factory, and eventually from this coal mine, because we already have this hooked area, to the platform to deliver steel. So I'm traveling with coal to the plant and from the plant with steel back to this machinery factory. We already have a route to produce plastic, so the last thing I will do is setting up a train route between this station where we will pick up the plastic and deliver the machinery. We need 57 machinery, and 57 machinery, that's boxcars are 5, I think. Let's check. No, let's not check. First I will replace this one before I forget. Done. Now all trams are actually having new ones. So time to switch to this one. I will need the boxcar. Boxcar is able to hold 4. We need an annual supply of 57. So that's 15 cars. I can't do that with one train. So I will need 2 trains at least. Starting here, picking up plastics all the way that way to here. So the route is actually a little bit longer as our oil route, and I will need at least 2 trains for that. But when it starts working, it will be a nice one. Plus, we'll get more people, more transports on our train lines, which will be more fun to show, that's for sure. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I will already start here. And the game is paused, so let's check for the passengers. Am I able to do that yet? 1 train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. So I could do a passenger train. But I think that it's a better idea to start setting up this whole machinery stuff first. So I will do that in offline mode and show you the routes and the infrastructure and the vehicles for it in the next episodes. For now, I'd do the usual, which is thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. For me, it was fun at least. I'm wishing you a very nice day. I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.